everyone, welcome back to Bethany's Vintage Fairy Tale. Thank you so much for joining me today for another DIY video. I'm so excited to announce that we are officially starting the Christmas 2022 season on my channel. I can't wait to share with you guys all of the different ideas that I have. We're going to be sharing some party planning, lots of DIYs, lots of decorating. So if that's definitely something you guys want to see, don't forget to hit the red subscribe button and the bell notification. That way you get notified every single time I upload a video. And for today, we're going to be kicking it off with some gorgeous DIY ornaments with lots of different styles ranging from shabby chic to very girly, romantic. We also have some traditional ornaments with the red and green, so I cannot wait to share with you guys everything. Don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel, and without further ado, let's get into these DIYs. So for our first DIY ornament, we're going to go in with these amazing pearls. I got this huge amount from Amazon for very inexpensive, and I'm just using some styrofoam balls, which I found at the thrift store, and I'm using my hot glue gun to attach them. I'm just going ahead and wrapping the pearls around themselves on the hot glue, just going around and around until you have the whole ball covered. Be really careful not to burn your fingers with this. It's really easy to do that because the pearls are a little bit spaced out. Just go ahead and wrap it around, and then make sure you press firmly down into the styrofoam just to get a really secure hold. And this DIY is also very customizable. You can get pearls in all different colors. You can even get the actual beaded garland for Christmas in golds or red and greens. You can do these in any kind of style. This is a pretty neutral one just because they are cream, so this will fit in with kind of any decor style that you're going for. But I love how you can really change these up and totally make them your own for whatever season you're going for. And now that you're getting closer to the end, just go ahead and add in the last little bit of hot glue and then wrap that around. And then once you get to the center, make sure you push really firmly into the styrofoam and then just use a pair of scissors to trim that off. And then there you go, you have a gorgeous DIY pearl ornament. And these in the store are very expensive. They usually go for like $9 or $10 a piece, and we made this for, I don't even know, maybe $1. It was super cheap because of the amount of pearls that I got on that roll, so very inexpensive. And now we're going to go ahead with our second DIY. So this is a very similar idea. I'm just using this gorgeous roped cording that I got at our local fabric store. It was on sale, very inexpensive, and I'm doing the same technique. I'm just using my hot glue gun and going around and around and just weaving that fabric around just to get that gorgeous effect. Same thing with these kind of ornaments are very expensive in the store, and they're so easy to make, you guys, and you can totally change up the colors depending on what kind of style you're decorating for this Christmas. So I just absolutely love these, and it's so much fun. I find this very relaxing. I just turn on my favorite Netflix show and I just spend time making these ornaments. I absolutely love it. And don't worry about that little piece of tape that you guys see. That's going to be at the bottom. And if you really don't like that, you can always put a big pearl there to cover that up as well. But I'm going to use that at the bottom of the ornament, so you won't even really tell when you have it hanging up. And then now that I'm getting closer to the end, I've just added in my last little bit of hot glue, and I'm just winding that super tight, making sure to press it nice and firmly into the styrofoam, and then just trimming off the end. And then there you go, a super simple, easy DIY ornament. And with this one, we're going to go ahead and add in a little topper. That way it's easy to hang from the tree. So I'm just going ahead and using some Michael's ribbon. I actually picked this up at clearance last year. They had 75% off their ribbon after Christmas, so I stocked up for the next season. I definitely recommend doing that because Michael's ribbon can be quite expensive. And I just trimmed off a little piece, added some hot glue, and then just made this cute little hanger. And then just to cover up the little raw edge, I added a bow, and then just using my hot glue, attach those together. And then so there you go, a super cute, adorable little DIY ornament. So for our next ornament DIY, I found these gold ornaments at Walmart, I believe, very inexpensive. I think it was like $3 for a pack of 10, I believe. And I'm just going ahead and adding in some other ribbon. This pink satin ribbon is actually from the Dollar Tree, so very affordable again. And I'm just going ahead with my hot glue gun and kind of making a design. My idea with this one is I wanted to go quite glam. We're going to be using more of those pearls, and then we're also going to be using a rhinestone trim. So I wanted this one to be a little bit different, so I'm just going around. I went around first, and then I went around a second time the other direction just with my hot glue gun. And with this kind of DIY, you can add as much ribbon or as a little ribbon as you want. I wanted quite a full ribbon effect here, and then you're going to see how we go ahead with the embellishments on top. But you can totally change up the design of this as well. If you wanted to keep it more minimal, you could do just two ways going with the ribbon, or you could do quite a few that I'm doing here. It's totally up to you. But here you can see how the ribbon is looking. I think it's so cute and adorable. And again, you can change up the colors with the ribbon. You can change up the textures and really make these very individual. You can use lots of different materials for these. You can use old jewelry, you can use beads or pearls or little heirlooms if you wanted to, and really make these your own and very special for somebody this Christmas. And then I just added in those gorgeous pearls. I did that in between the ribbon just to cover up a little bit more of that gold ornament. And then I just went around, and again, you can do as many strands of these as you want. And here's this rhinestone trim that I was talking about. I picked up this roll on Amazon. It was a little bit pricey for the rhinestone, but not bad by any means. And this DIY was pretty cheap to begin with, so I didn't mind splurging a little bit on some bling for this project. And then for the rhinestones, I wanted to add a little pop of bling onto the ribbon. So I just went ahead with my glue gun and put a thin bead of ribbon down the ribbon. You don't want to add too much glue just because the strands of rhinestones are very thin, so the glue will show. So make sure you put a really small amount there. So for our next DIY, we're going to do something quite similar. I'm using that same gold Michaels ribbon that we used on our other ornament and doing the same technique, just using my hot glue gun and winding that down around the ornament and then just wrapping the ribbon around that. I wanted to have two different colorways for this because in my home I do a couple different themes. I have a woodland glam that I'm doing in my home, which has a tiny little bit of blue, some pink, some warm cream, some warm browns, and all things snowy and flocked, which I'm so excited to share with you guys. And then in our main part of our house, I do the traditional red and green, but I'm going with a really sophisticated ruby red and emerald green this year. So there's lots of fun DIYs for everyone. I can't wait to share with you guys this Christmas season, so make sure you give this video a thumbs up if you're enjoying it. So here you can see how the ribbon looks now that I've attached all of the different sections. And then we're going to do the same thing. We're going to use that gorgeous pearl trim, and then we're adding that in between the section of ribbon. And then make sure you press the pearls down nice and firmly just to make sure that they stick properly, just because they are quite spread out. So you want to make sure you hold it down as you're applying the hot glue, just to make sure that you get a really strong hold here. Oh, I'm just loving how this is turning out, you guys. And you can keep this simple too. If you like just the pearl and the ribbon, you could totally leave it like this. I just find that with this kind of ribbon, you can see a little bit where the hot glue was underneath the ribbon. So that's kind of why I like to apply the rhinestones directly on top, because it just makes the work look a little bit neater, and it adds a little bit more sparkle. And of course, it's Christmas time, you guys, so you can't have too much sparkle, which I absolutely love. So I'm just going ahead doing the same technique using my hot glue gun, applying a very thin amount of hot glue. You don't want too much to bulge out from underneath the rhinestones, and then just make sure you press that down nice and firmly to get a really strong hold. Oh, see here you can see how it's all turning out. I'm loving this colorway. I think gold is so sophisticated and pretty. You'll notice I don't do any silver in my home. I'm more attracted to those really warm colors. So I absolutely love gold for Christmas. So this is gonna fit in so nice with my shabby chic decor. I can't wait to share with you guys. So we're going to go ahead with another DIY. I'm using another one of those Walmart ornaments, and then I had this ribbon that I picked up at our local fabric store, very inexpensive, and I'm just going ahead and applying a thin layer of hot glue right around the top of the ornament, and I'm using my fingers to pleat the fabric, just going ahead and wrapping that totally around the perimeter of the ornament. With this, I wanted to make it very shabby chic, very romantic and feminine, and I just absolutely love this. It kind of reminds me of something that my grandma used to have on her tree. She loved lace, so this is such a fun DIY, and I love that really feminine Victorian feel, so I definitely wanted to try to create an ornament that would remind me of my grandma and just kind of use some pretty gorgeous lace fabric. I just love how this is turning out. And then for the second layer, what you're going to do is you're just going to push up the previous layer out of the way and then add another layer of thin hot glue, and then you're going to go ahead and pleat the fabric the same way with your fingers. Just be very careful not to burn yourself. I've been hot gluing for years, so my fingertips are pretty tough from all of the hot glue. But just make sure you're being really careful and pleating the fabric nice and close together because you want that really nice gathered look. And then this is super simple. You're just going to go around the whole ornament doing this. Once you finish this layer, go ahead and push that up and then add your next layer of hot glue and then begin pleating again. And it's totally up to you how much you want to pleat this fabric as well. I like a really gathered look, so I was doing my pleats maybe a centimeter apart just to make sure that I got a really nice gathered effect here. And here you can kind of see how it looks now that we've got two layers. I wanted to cover the whole ornament with this, so I'm just going ahead and adding layers and layers and layers, and then once I get closer to the bottom, I left that part blank because you can't even see it because there's so much lace once you've applied all of your layers, and once you hang it on the tree, all you see is the gorgeous pleated lace, so you don't even need to cover the whole ornament. I went like maybe 3/4 of the way down. So here's how it turned out, you guys. I hope you love this. This is so shabby chic, very simple. You can just use some scrap fabric that you have on hand and it makes this a gorgeous shabby chic ornament. So I love it so much. So for our next ornament, we're going to be using this really thin velvet ribbon that I picked up on Amazon. Again, it's a huge roll and it was very inexpensive. And I'm using my hot glue gun to apply layers on layers of this gorgeous velvet ribbon. My idea for this one is I wanted to cover the ornament totally completely with this amazing ribbon to give it a very gorgeous, feminine, romantic look. I'm just going around and wrapping the ribbon. And then every time I do a new layer, I go through the middle of the two previous sections, if that makes sense. So once I do one going horizontal, then I would do one going diagonal, if that makes sense. And then going around and making sure that I cover the ornament thoroughly to make sure that none of that styrofoam is showing. And I actually really like how this turned out because it made kind of a teardrop effect with the ornament because both of the ends got quite thick from all of the different layers of ribbon that I was applying. So it made that gorgeous kind of teardrop shaped ornament that I absolutely love. So I kind of like how it kind of changed the shape a little bit just by adding in some gorgeous ribbon. So that was an unexpected hack that I was kind of excited, a happy accident, I guess. And I love how it turned out, you guys, and very simple. You can do this with any kind of ribbon that you guys have on hand. Again, any color scheme that you're going for, super easy and very affordable option. And I love how it looks very layered and organic, very, very feminine. And then I'm going ahead and adding in a little hanger piece, doing the same thing. I cut off just a tiny piece of ribbon, added some hot glue, and then just added that directly to the top of my ornament. And then I'm adding in a gorgeous little shabby chic bow to the top just to cover up that little bit of a raw edge that was there. And then for a final touch, I wanted to add in just a little pearl just to the middle of my ribbon there. So I got this ginormous pack of pearls from Michaels. They have a flat back on them, so it makes it really easy for crafting with, and you can get them in all different colors. I'm using a pink one here, but they had every kind of color you could ever hope for at Michaels. So depending on whatever decor style that you're going for Christmas this year, just grab some gorgeous pearls and some ribbon, and then you can make tons of these gorgeous DIY ornaments. They're very personalized, and I just think it adds so much to your tree. And then for another DIY, so I wanted to try something with fabric. So this DIY was a little bit tricky just to figure out how to get it to work properly. I tried quite a few before I ended up sharing with you guys the tutorial for this one, just because fabric can be a little bit tricky to work with. But essentially the idea is you're going to go ahead with a styrofoam ball, place that in the middle of your fabric, and then gather the fabric around the ball with your hands. So I did that first with the satin that you see there, and then I'm doing the same technique with the lace. I wanted something very romantic, kind of a Victorian feel again here, you guys. So I'm just adding these two fabrics on top of each other. And then I'm using some of this wire that I found on Amazon as well. It came in a huge bolt, and I've been using that for tons of projects. So I definitely suggest shopping Amazon, you guys. They have a lot of DIY supplies. I would have never thought to shop there, but I get a lot of my stuff in bulk, which I find really helps to save money when you're making a lot of these kinds of ornaments. And now I'm just going ahead and trimming off the top. I love how it kind of made like a little rosette almost with the fabric. And then I just added in at the very top a little hanger piece just so that I could go ahead and easily hang it from my tree. And I'm just kind of fluffing the material with my hands, making sure that it's all nicely spread out. But I love how this one turned out. I think it's so cute. And then I wanted to try the same technique with a different fabric. So I picked up this gorgeous velvet material from our local fabric store here. Like I said before, in the main part of our house, I'm doing a ruby red and emerald green theme for Christmas. So I found this gorgeous emerald green velvet. It definitely looks very blue on camera, but it's actually an emerald green in person. I don't know why my camera does that sometimes. It changes the colors. But I'm doing the same technique, just adding the fabric around the styrofoam ball, tying it off very tightly with that wire, and then trimming off the fabric just to make sure that it's nice and even. And I kind of like this style too because it looks almost like, you know, Santa's sack like on the back of his sleigh. That was kind of my inspiration for these. I kind of like how they turned out. And then what I was wanting to do with this was for the handle, I wanted something more glamorous because like I said, I'm going for a very sophisticated feeling with my tree in my dining room this year. So I thought this gold rhinestone trim would really help to bring in that very regal, very glamorous aesthetic. So I'm just pinched the ends together with my hot glue gun, and then I just made a cute little hanger and then just added that directly into the center of my ornament. Super easy, and I just love the little bit of bling that it added to the ornament. And then the other thing I wanted to do was just to cover up that wire that was there, just because you can see it a little bit since there's only one layer of fabric on this one. I just used my hot glue gun and then added my rhinestone trim just directly around that, just to give it a little bit more bling and then to cover up the wire that was there. And we're gonna do the same thing here with this gorgeous ruby red velvet fabric. I love these colors, you guys. I think they're so rich and just so luxurious. They're so soft. And I'm doing the same technique here. I'm just going ahead, wrapping the fabric around my ornament, tying it off. And then we're gonna do the same thing. We're gonna use that gorgeous rhinestone trim to create our handle and then to cover up the wire that's tying the ornament together. So don't forget to leave me a comment down below, guys. Let me know which is your favorite ornament so far. I've had so much fun creating all of these DIYs for you guys. It's been so fun just to kind of, personalize some ornaments. These are great gift ideas or stocking stuffers. You can even do some of these DIYs with kids, which is so fun to get them involved as well. And I love how you can totally make them your own. You can totally customize these with whatever decor style that you guys love for Christmas. I would love to hear from you guys what you guys are planning to do this year. I find it so hard to choose every year because I love everything, you guys. Christmas is my absolute favorite time of year. It's so much fun to decorate for, and I love creating such personalized pieces just to make a little bit a different theme in your home. I love it because my family is so supportive too. And yeah, just let me know what you guys are doing. I'd love to hear from you. So for our next DIY, this is a very classic, simple DIY, super easy to do, and is super inexpensive. I'm just using the same styrofoam ball, a little wooden dowel. I just kind of poked that in there just so I wouldn't have to hold the ornament because your hands would get very dirty and it would get very messy very quickly. So I just find using a wooden dowel makes it so much easier. That way you don't have to get your hands so dirty. And I'm just using my gorgeous emerald green glitter and just adding a very nice, generous coat to that. And then just making sure I get that evenly coated all the way around. And here you can see how it's turning out. So I'm so excited to share this with you guys. This is such a classic, easy DIY. You can do this with any color of glitter. And the only thing you'll want to do with these is make sure you spray them when they're all dry with an acrylic clear sealer, because otherwise the glitter is just going to keep falling off and it's going to get very messy very quickly. So I definitely suggest giving it a very good coat with an acrylic sealer. I get mine at Walmart. I think it's like $15 a bottle, and you get so much in there that you can use it for many different craft projects, and I highly suggest using that. That way you just keep your hands from getting super dirty with all this glitter. But it wouldn't be Christmas without glitter, you guys, right? Have to have glitter with Christmas. So I made quite a few of these because, like I said, we're doing that ruby red and emerald green theme. So I wanted quite a few of these to put on my tree, and you can see how they are all looking. I left them overnight just to dry, just kept the wooden dowels in, and then the next day I sprayed them with that acrylic sealer just to make sure that the glitter was nice and set. And then once everything is dry, you can go ahead and remove those wooden dowels. And then what I did was I grabbed from Walmart, actually, I used just their plain metal little hooks, and they're just metal, so you just stick them right directly into the styrofoam, and then you can easily hang them from your tree that way. And then I wanted to create some ruby red ones as well, so I went ahead and mixed up some glitter, and then I did the same thing, added a generous layer of Mod Podge, and then went ahead and put in all of my glitter, making sure just to get a really even coat and just spinning it around just to shake off any excess glitter. So for our last DIY, I wanted to create something kind of similar to our glittered ornaments, but this time I'm using a mixture of sequins and pearls and glitter, and just to kind of get this really chunky, very glam aesthetic, I mixed them all together in a bowl, and then I used the same technique. I went ahead with some hot glue this time, actually hot glue, because the Mod Podge was a little bit too thin, especially because this mixture was quite chunky. Definitely using the hot glue is a little bit easier just to make sure you get a really strong hold. And I used the same thing, a wooden dowel and a styrofoam ball, just to make sure it was a little bit easier for me to hold on to while I was applying all of the glitter. And then make sure you get a nice even coat covering up all of that styrofoam underneath. I actually have a Christmas tree that I DIY'd last year with the same exact technique. I had a styrofoam tree base from the dollar store, and I did the same technique as adding in the hot glue and then putting on the mixture on top. So this will match perfectly with my decor from last year, which is so great. And what was actually kind of funny about these, after I finished making them and they had the dowels in, I thought, hey, these kind of look like really abstract lollipops, which I thought was kind of fun because I do have a little bit of shabby chic sugar plum fairy decor to share with you guys later on in the season coming up. So I'm actually going to leave these on the stick and use them as a pick for one of my sugar plum fairy trees, which I thought was a really great idea. A little bit out of the box as well. So I wanted to share with you guys how you could style these ornaments on a Christmas tree. This is an adorable little tree that I picked up at HomeSense last year. I love styling it with these gorgeous shabby chic ornaments. And don't forget, you guys can use these in non-traditional ways as well. I love grabbing old apothecary jars and filling it with shabby chic ornaments. It makes such a nice design detail for your Christmas decor, makes it very special and romantic. So I love doing that as well. But of course you can hang these off of trees as well. I just wanted to give you guys all of the inspiration for your crafting this year. And don't forget to leave me a comment down below. I would love to hear from you guys what your favorite ornament was in today's DIY video. And don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel as well. You guys do not want to miss this amazing Christmas 2022 season. I have so much decorating, DIYs, a little bit of party planning coming your way, so you definitely guys do not want to miss. I love you guys so much. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video, and I will talk to you guys soon. Love you guys. Bye.